This is our time. What self-care really looks like for women over 60. You know, I keep seeing this word self-care everywhere. It's on candles, it's on spa ads. It's practically its own brand now. But for women our age, it's not about pampering. It's about permission. Permission to live life on our own terms for the first time ever. Because let's be honest, we were the generation that just did. We didn't grow up saying, I need space or I need to rest. That would have sounded ridiculous. It wasn't even in our consciousness to think that. But now we get to rewrite that because this entire chapter of our life, this is our time. We were handed a rule book the minute we were born. How to be polite, how to host, how to keep house, how to look busy even when we were collapsing inside, how to be the perfect child, how to be the perfect wife. And so much of it was nonsense. You know, this reminds me of this story about a woman who cut off both ends of her roast before she baked it. Someone finally asked her, why do you do this? And she said, I don't know, my mother did it. And then she asked her mother, and her mother said, well, when I first got married, my pan was too small, so I had to cut off both ends. That's how ridiculous things are. How many roasts have we been cutting for decades without knowing why and without thinking, does this even apply to me? I remember years ago being at a friend's house and she was teaching her soon-to-be married daughter the essentials of running a home. And here I was, I'd been running a home for about 4 decades by then, and I'm hearing these rules for the very first time. Apparently, when you buy a duvet, it has to be at least 70% duck feathers, or it won't keep you warm. Sheets must be folded this way, this way, this way, this way, and then inserted into their pillowcase to stay tidy. Socks must never be rolled, they must be folded. And my favorite, there's a proper way to put away your underwear. I was trying so hard not to laugh because if she had only seen my linen cupboard and my underwear drawer, I think she would have had a nervous breakdown. All I could think of then, though, was what about the soft skills? What about communication, gratitude, kindness, humor, forgiveness? That's the stuff, the glue that holds marriages and relationships together. It's not the sock system for sure. And that's when I realized, bing, so many of the rules we live by aren't ours. They don't make sense. They're inherited nonsense. And we get to decide which ones to keep and which ones to toss. For me, real self-care is choosing what deserves my energy and what doesn't. It's knowing the world won't collapse if I leave the kitchen messy, or if dinner is a salad or a piece of bread, or everybody helps themselves, which is actually what it is in my house right now. And if laundry wants an extra day, an extra week, or until all the clean clothes are dirty, it doesn't matter. Peace of mind matters more than clean counters. It's looking through my contact list and realizing some people drain me and some people fill me up. And then giving more time to the people that make me laugh and make me feel great and that I want to be with. It's not another list of shoulds. It's the freedom to say, you know what? Not today, maybe never. And to say it without guilt. If you're a working senior like I am, and a lot of women in our age group are, this still applies. I remember when I was in my 20s working at head office American Express, and everyone would eat at their desks at lunchtime, phones ringing between meetings, half a sandwich between calls. And I would take my lunch and walk around the block. Just to breathe, just to get grounded, just to remember I was a person, not an employee ID number. And that little walk was my sanity. My reminder that I existed outside of my job description. You don't need a day off to care for yourself. Sometimes 5 minutes is enough to reset your entire mood. It's not about disappearing. It's about remembering yourself in the middle of it all. And here's another piece no one talks about. Joy. We've spent so many years holding everything together that so many of us have forgotten how to have fun. We've got this bucket list things, the trips, the projects, the things we used to love doing and don't make time for anymore, or the things we want to learn. And we keep telling ourselves, when things settle down, that's when I'll do it. But guess what? Things never settle. Life just keeps moving, and faster, actually. So if not now, when? When do you get to go first? This season of life isn't about slowing down. It's about showing up different, less perfection, more peace, less proving, and more play. Real self-care isn't glamorous. It's about saying no and not apologizing. You can leave your phone in another room. You can sit down to eat instead of standing over the counter. You can skip the iron sheets, the folded socks, the perfectly aligned cupboards. It's knowing this. We don't have to earn our rest. We don't have to justify joy. We don't have to do anything. Remember, you've already done enough. This is your time to live by your rules, to laugh, to rest, to breathe, and to do what you want to do. And if you need help remembering how to find that calm, that confidence, and that freedom again, that's exactly the work I do. I'm Shellie Grafstein, life coach for women over 60, helping women rewrite the rules and find peace in food, body, and in their life.